Zero? So what you're saying is we should be smoking beers. People have been saying this. I feel like, for all the jokes, the human race is actually very ingenious. I feel like if vaping alcohol had any benefit and didn't have health consequences, we would probably be doing it. Because people are pouring this stuff up their butts, and that seems way more inconvenient, which tells me that the vaporizing of alcohol simply seems like it doesn't work. Or it would literally kill you from the inside out or something. Like, I just want you to know, if when related to like human leisure, if you've ever had the idea that's like, oh, I wonder if anybody's ever tried, what about like a fried chicken sandwich that has like Belgian waffles for the bun? Watch the episode of Drugs, Inc., where a dude cooks crystal methamphetamines with just household detergents and old 2-liter soda bottles in a forest, and you'll be like, yeah, they tried that one. They definitely do. This dude is out here making a drug with literally plastic bottles and Windex. It goes through like a 900-step process, and he's doing it in the woods. They tried the donut bun fried chicken sandwich. I promise you that. That's not going to be your big break. I'm not saying you're not going to have one. It's just not going to be that. Maybe a bit of poop on top. Yeah, exactly. Would you try meth for a documentary? No. No disrespect, but I'm built the same. I think I'm... This shit is like a key in your brain, right? You have a lock in your brain, and everybody says, hey, make yourself at home, but like don't go see what's behind that door. That's the only thing I'm asking you. I'm not opening the door, bro. I'm thankful for the hospitality of, you know, hundreds of millions of years of mammalian evolution. My forefathers before me said, don't open that door. I'm keeping the door closed. Your secrets will remain. I honestly think one of the most, it's not a documentary, but one of the most important pieces of nonfiction writing in my generation is that dude's account on Reddit where he said, ask me anything, I'm going to try heroin tonight and not get addicted. And everyone was like, don't do it. And he was like, nah, I've got like really good discipline. And then he tried it and he got addicted to heroin. And then he didn't post for like 8 months. And then he came back and was like, hey, I'm in rehab for my heroin addiction. Ask me anything. And then he's been like, as I understand it, at least, he's been like on and off the wagon ever since. It's like, it's a sad story, but it is also like, that story is probably saved. I mean, I don't think I was at risk of really like doing heroin to begin with, but certainly after reading that post, I was like, well, I'm definitely never going to touch that now. That's also what I mean when I said, like, I don't know, I've been saying it for years now. It's the smart, dumb axis. That dude is dumb, smart. Or smart, dumb. I can't remember where we fell on this one. He probably did well in school. Because he's built a character of himself in his mind where he's smarter than the average person, so the rules don't apply to him. That's why it's dangerous to be smart dumb. You got to be smart enough to realize at least I'm not dumb, but dumb enough to realize there are smarter. You should listen to people who have been through something that you've never been through before. No. Librarian, you can refer them to our previously published work on this if they want a dissertation. I'm not going to just play the hits today. Yeah, you got to be smart enough to get the benefits of a wizened mind. But also smart enough to realize there are many smarter individuals than you. And in fact, every individual is smarter than you in some domain. I think that's hard for people to accept. Like even in chat. Bet you guys know way more about Bionicle than me. I don't know shit about Bionicle. What do you think's the best creepypasta of all time? I would say, but who was phone? That's a big one. What is this? You're a good item, right? You're a good item. I'm going crazy. I might know more about electronics and thermodynamics than you. I'll take that bet. What's electronics again? What's the difference between electronics and electric? Computers? I do follow that that 2-sentence horror account on Twitter that always posts the Reddit ones. It's so funny. Like, again, with the limited amount of disrespect, just criticism, not disrespect. They're self-aware when they do it. But every story is the worst story you've ever heard in your life. It's always like, you know, 2-sentence horror. I was so excited to finally hold my wife's hand after so long apart. And then I remembered her hands got chopped off by that guy with the sword. And like, that's it. Like, genuinely, that's on par with like the level of the stories that you see on 2-sentence horror. And then, without fail, in every single post that this account makes on Twitter of the stuff from Reddit, there's like 1,000 people in the replies going, wait a minute, this one's actually pretty good. Like, all the other ones that you've posted were ass, but this one's actually pretty good. No, we're not going to be doing that. OMG does. Can you come up with one on the spot? I literally just did. I asked him to come up with one on the spot. And then I remembered he already had. That one's actually good? Whoa. Yeah, can I have an everything bagel? Oh, and don't forget to put an extra pound of poop on it. I took that from chat. That's a good one. Oh, this one gave me shivers. Of the non-piss variety. Driving past the tomato factory, parentheses, I have a phobia of tomatoes. Okay, all right, listen. I don't want to freak anybody out. It's getting a little too serious. This is supposed to be all ages content, in spite of the fact that I think you have to click a box that says you're over 18 to watch this, because this game is rated M. You know what, though? The game is rated M for mature, but the stream, for me, I always like to say it's rated I for immature. Because I'm just like a kid who never grew up, to be honest with you. Did you know in Jackass 4, there's a grown man named Poopies? I did know that. It's a good movie. There is also another man named Dark Shark who almost gets eaten by a bear. I cannot believe this. That's my 2-sentence horror. Is Jackass a movie or a documentary? You know what? I never thought about that. I think you could really irritate people by calling Jackass 2 your favorite documentary of all time. But it is true. I mean, it is. Well, I don't know if it's a documentary. It's non-fiction. It's funny how, like, we all agree that almost all reality TV is fake. And the only one that's actually universally agreed upon as real is the one that should be fake. They're like, that shit on the 1,000-Pound Sisters did not happen. That's all marinated by TLC. But Steve-O really did try to drop a condom full of his old RV septic tank on top of his head, and it exploded and shot shit and piss all over his face. That shit should be CG, bro. Man, I hate Steve-O. Why? He's doing it for you, bro. Do the voice? Okay, fine. Man, what the fuck did I do? All right. It fucking kills, bro. I think I lost it a little bit. It's more nasal too. All right. But what the fuck did I do, dude? No, it's somewhere in there. Isn't Impractical Jokers the only other real one? That show's pretty good. I thought I would dislike it. Then I watched a little bit of it because my daughter, when she was first born, she would wake up like 10 times a night at very inopportune times. And it was the only thing on TV. It was that I got really into Parking Wars. And by really into, I would wake up with like the Lemmy picture. And then I'd be like, oh, it's 3:57. Parking Wars is on in 3 minutes. Let's go. I like Everything Is Upside Down with Carmine Leguizamo. The sketch he does in the mall is goated, man. Where there's too much shit on him. What's the towing show where the one tow truck girl gets run over? I think it's called Miami Tow. I know the one with Bernice. Lizard Lick Towing, that's it. You killed my friend! Get back here! Spawns a sack every 5 rooms. Pete Carroll is out as coach of the Seahawks. That's bad. That team's got problems. Pete Carroll is not one of them. The play calling is not one of them, bro. I hate to say it. No disrespect to Geno Smith. I mean, like, he did better than expected. I would even say, like, both years, but it's not a long-term solution, bro. They got to go through a proper rebuild. Step 1, If any NFL GMs are listening, I have one piece of advice for you. Because I see you're so excited for the NFL draft, and then boom, stud quarterback goes number 1, whatever. That's life. Number 2, they're like, give me a left guard. Stop doing that shit. Your O-line doesn't matter. You could just fill it with sumo wrestlers, okay? Only draft the positions that matter. In this order. Quarterback. Second, you need a stud wide receiver. Third, you got to have an Edgerrin James type running back. It's a running-based game. When you start building out the defense, you start with the secondary. First, you get the 2 safeties. You get your free safety and your strong safety. Then your cornerbacks. Then your linebackers, especially a good blitzer. Then you prioritize the O-line from center out, and then the D-line, okay? Your quarterback has now died? No, because he's really good at scrambling. Wrong. Also, my entire offensive line, I recruited from the Sumokan Budokai in Tokyo, Japan. Everybody is 6'2", 535 pounds, and they don't even need pads, so we get to save a little money up front. I need these. Give me my thing. Yay! Wahoo! The run is over. Tired take. Why don't NHL teams just put a sumo wrestler in net? Answer. It was answered by sports science. Because even someone with concrete hands like George Laraque can light him up on every single shot. Wired take? Bro, why don't they just get sumo wrestlers to be offensive linemen? Like, to me, it sounds like, you might be like, that's stupid. But their whole job is pushing other big guys. Like, that's part of the job of an offensive lineman. I shoot ice tears, okay. Like, I feel like you're saying I'm stupid for saying, like, why don't they just get really tall people to play basketball? Which is what they do. That was actually part of the plot of The Replacements. Oh, I'm cooked. You gotta be agile? Bro, I feel like sumo wrestlers are... They're agile given their size. No, they're not? Why not? Listen, I'm not saying they're gonna beat Myles Garrett in the 40-yard dash, but, like, they haven't been training for that. They've been training to hang out in, like, a little ring. I'm sure if you give them a couple of seasons to get up to speed... Listen, as a guy who knows nothing about football or sumo wrestling, I'm just saying, let's just give it a chance. Like, on a team that sucks anyway, you're telling me the Commanders, once they knew their season was cooked, they couldn't have just put, like, a Yokozuna out there for a couple of games just to give them a shot? Just on, like, a PTO or something like that? Just teased you with the boss rush. What's a Yokozuna? It's the top rank in the world of sumo. I know everything about sumo, dude. And by everything, I mean, I know that the best sumo wrestler in the world is Mongolian, which has caused a lot of waves in the tradition-dominated sport known as sumo wrestling. Oh, he retired? Oh, never mind. I don't know anything. Most of the top 10 right now are Mongolian. That's what's happening to hockey, too. You think only Canadians are good at it? Psych. Turns out Minnesota exists. I did watch a documentary about Mongolia. I've told this story a few times. Did you know that in Mongolia, it's a relatively common practice for children to get breastfed up to like age 12? Which might explain their prodigious size and propensity for sumo wrestling. I just remember in the documentary, like one of the moms was talking. She's like, I breastfed my son this morning, and her son is like literally like almost going through puberty, and he's like covering his face and like putting his hand up to the camera and stuff like that. Like my mom embarrassed me when I was 12, but at least she wasn't like, this dude was sucking on my titties for breakfast this morning. I'd be like, Mom, shut up, bro, relax. They're filming a movie. This is gonna be on Netflix, lady. Yeah, the kid was like, he was like 6'3" or something. Or no, he wasn't 6'3". He was like 4'9". But he was like 220 pounds of like solid mass. Oh, man. They may be on to... That's the thing. Like, because the internet's a crazy place. One of the questions you get asked by anonymous strangers after you've had a kid is, did you ever try breast milk? No, I did not. Because it's simply not done. That being said, based on first principles, it is literally designed to be eaten by people. Like, if anything, people look at it as if it's gross, but it's actually, like, the most foodie food of all time. Okay, maybe designed isn't the word that I should have used. That could be my grift, bro. I'm an atheist. I have a biology degree. I could be the atheist biology understander who still believes in intelligent design. It's one of one, bro. It already exists? No shot. So I'll be like, I believe I understand the principles of evolution, but like, it just seems like, come on. We started as like a little slug, and now all of a sudden, you know, I'm playing video games. It just doesn't make sense. But God didn't do it. It must have been like a fucking, I don't know. Aliens, like, no, you're right. This guy does exist already. Son of a bitch. Where'd the slug come from? I don't know, like a smaller slug or something like that. Yeah, why not? Holy, bro! Is this what the bear is like? Catch my ass a little nervous turning on episode 1 of The Bear. Everybody says it's hard for me to watch. It makes my anxiety flare up. Thought it was going to be a show where, like, you know, there's serious consequences. Turns out Blood's just making sandwiches. What are we talking about here? You watched it? No, I just pretended for the joke. Oh, man. Good bit. Every stream gets one. I don't hate the bear, okay? I don't hate it at all. I just like making people laugh, okay? Is that so wrong? It is on Disney Plus. At some point, I will watch The Bear if I continue on the present Peloton track, because I'll run out of good stuff on Disney Plus. I've still got a pretty prodigious watch list, and I would rather watch movies than watch TV, because movies are better, because they're shorter. But at some point, I will work through most of the good movies on Disney Plus, and I will be like, what show should I watch? You won't catch me watching Echo. So the Bear will be up there in terms of like the first things to see. I would love it if they added Oppenheimer to Canadian Disney Plus. Again, this is not an ad for Disney. Canadian Disney Plus does go insane, though. Mostly because 20th Century Fox got purchased by Disney. And 20th Century Fox spent like 70 years making art and then like 20 years making mid-X-Men movies. There's a lot of good stuff in the back catalog, bro. You gonna watch Percy Jackson? You don't want the answer to that question. I do? No, I will not be watching Percy Jackson. I don't know anything about Percy Jackson. If I was gonna watch anything related to Percy Jackson, which I'm not going to, I would probably watch the original movie from like the late 2000s. There's no shot. I have no faith in rebooted TV versions of things that were originally movies, of things that were originally books. Like something getting an original series on something that gets distributed by Disney on Disney Plus that they didn't make, it's got a shot. Something that Disney said we're going to make an original show and distribute on Disney Plus. Fool me once, fucking shame on you. Fool me 20 times in a row, shame on me. I mean, it's got to be this. You had the same take about Netflix, and it's been almost 100% true every time. It's the same thing about... I can't even get it. People are not ready for it. It's the same thing about video games. Where whenever you're like, I don't know if... I'm not really a big fan of like X genre. And they're like, oh, really? What about the one unassailable masterpiece that exists in that genre that everybody agrees is amazing? Okay, yeah, fucking that one's good, bro. You got me. Stardew Valley's good. You will not catch me playing My Time at Portia, though. It's just like... You give respect to the classics, and then you stick to your preferences for the rest of them. You're chasing the Stardew Valley dragon, bro. I'm not even insulting My Time at Portia, okay? I just had to... Something had to be the sacrifice in the joke. Is he henchman maxing? Hey, boss, I did that thing you asked me to. What was it again? Oh, right. Hang on, let me see the perspective for multiplayer stuff. Seems like it's happening tomorrow. Have we always had this little... Yeah, we've had these black bars, right? That's how you know this is cinema. We've got it letterboxed. That's Isaac 4? I don't know. I got one more in me.